halacha that it's brought in the Orachaim and in the Yeredeya. Lagabe working. What's the perspective of Torah? Lagabe working. So there's two really opposite, you could say, perspectives. I'm going to start with the first one, the perspective of many B'nai Torah, the way they look at it. So here is the lashon. I'm not saying anything from my own. I'm reading it from inside. The lashon of the Aruch HaShulchan. I'm starting from him. It's in Shulchan Aruch Orachaim Kuf Nun Vav. That's his lashon. Kama toyim bezeloymar sha'omnus u'dover shel bezoyan. Some people look at work, omnus, working. It's something you look down at. You know, ideally, a person should learn Torah the whole day. He says sharakama tanoim. He says why it's wrong to look at it this way. That omnus or working at something dvar bezoyan. Sharakama tanoim ve'emeroim shoyu bala meloches. Many tanoim emeroim. Shammai was a builder. Hillel was a wood chopper till he became a nasi. A sandler and v'chulu. Many Tanaim ve'Meroim, they were involved in their parnasa themselves. So he says, "Visu v'medrash Rabba Bereishis, chavivo ya melacha mischus avos." Melacha is even greater than schus avos. That's what Medrash Rabba says. Schus avos it's still a moment. For melacha it's still a nefasha. Schus avos was saved the Jewish people only the money, and schus melacha the life. Shnemar lule loike ovi Avram. That's what Yaakov Avinu said when he was met with Lavan. Ki ato reikam shalachtoni es oni v'segia kapai ro elokim v'echachamash. So said like this: Lagabe, that moment that you wanted to send me empty-handed for all my work, you didn't want to pay me for it. It says lule eloki Avram. That was chus ovas. But he says that's what ki ato reikam shalachtoni. If not for chus ovas, I would not retrieve my money from you. You would take it away from me. But he says, it's only v'yegia kapai. That is the malacha. He says, "Ro Elokim v'yechach omesh klama shelo haragol lovan liYaakov v'fogaboy." So Mele said that it says from here we see that gedoyle hamalacha yoster mischus avos. It says umayla gedoyle lefi lemisha mispanes and ma'ase yodov shnemer yegia kapech ketoichel ashrecha v'tovlach ashrecha v'lamazav v'lamazav. That's the lashon Aruch HaShulchan. Again, there is such a perspective in the world. Other young will have it. So I thought that was something came recently from the yeshivish world, but Aruch HaShulchan lived between 120, 140 years ago, Be'erech. He wrote this maybe 150 years ago, Be'erech. So it looks like that's an old, probably way before him also. Okay, now I'm going to read it from the Shulchan Aruch. No, and I'm sorry, from the Tur I'm going to read this. From the Tur. Like this. Kufnun Vav, when you go through the whole Seder, the Orachaim, Tefillah, Kaddish, Baruch Hu, at the end, Kufnun Vav, we come to the Seder, V'achar kech, he says, after you're davening, learning, he says, Yelech la'asokov, the whole Torah, anyone melacha, soifa, betela, v'gereres, ovon, if you have Torah without melacha, it's going to bring you to the end to do a sin, Shem elo ma yoichal, if you have no food to eat, you're going to say, I'm just learning, I'm not working, it's you look down at work, so he says that the poverty can make you to do things, crazy things. Okay, so you have to work. He says, now we're coming to the different, like I said, now we're going to the other perspective. Some people, the Baal Malacha, by them they think my Ikar Inyan is I'm a businessman, a Baal Malacha. So they don't take so much the learning serious. He says, the main thing should be the learning. I have to work also to support myself, to support the family. If Hashem wants to give you parnosa, if you do ishtadlus with a little ishtadlus, it could give you a lot of atzlocha. Some people work a lot and they have not so much atzlocha. So if you do your Torah kva, then Hashem will send you siyata deshma in your melacha. You could work less and succeed. Said like this. I'm reading now the base. It's the Beis Yosef said like this. Kloimer, gaba yelech achar kach la'asokov. Kloimer, lo yitema. Lama to omer yelech la'asokov Yosef v'hashul l'mishirmad lo'olam b'Torah. Why the Torah gives you over here? It gives you a seder hayom. After davening, learning, go to do some malachot, go to business. Maybe it would be a better advice. Go to learn the whole day. He says. Lochen Omar mida toivahu. That's a good mida. She'elech la'asokov kedetnan kol toirash shem azov betela. Kloimer sheichle mamoino. If you have no malacha, you have no income. If you save some money, it's all going to be finished. V'hagir yitzarech lachzor acha parnasosei. V'lo yuchal afilu likva itim la toira. Sometimes it says ma'isi yetzer. You want to learn the whole day. Then, when the money is finished, you can't even do kvius itim now because you have to go after money. Now you have no time even this way. If you want to balance hours of the day, if you have parnasa, you have money, you never have to go to other extremes, stop learning because you have no money. You're going to be able to do kvius itim. The gam yigrem lo oven ki ha'oini ya'avirenu al das koinen. That's what the Besesef says. Interesting, the Bach has a whole different take on it. He says, why the...
So it's not the job you have, that's the parnosa.
Parnosa, whatever there's a business job, it's parnosa. You need to have parnosa. Interesting, the Bach questions this tour. He says like this. The tour says, you're going to have bitul Torah if you don't have work. It says, why he brings the end of the Mishnah? The beginning of the Mishnah, it's just like Mashahevi Rabbeinu, the Bach is on the tour. Mashahevi has Seifa, V'loivi HaReisha. The Reisha of that Mishnah, Yof, Talmud Torah, Derech Eretz. Why don't you bring from there a Raya? The Mashma, the tour has over here, his Raya, that you have to have malacha, work of business, that's more from the Seifa of the Mishnah. Why not from the Reisha? He says, the Tana in Pirkei Avos talks about two different groups. The Polshim Sfinos Bayom V'olchem B'schoires B'derech Choyka. One group, they're the business people, they're going export, import, they're going busy in their life with the business. He says, V'om Razav V'lo Me'ever Layomi. Such a people usually Lo Timsa Torah B'tagorim. Those people that very much immerse in business, you're not going to find Torah much in them because they don't put much time to Torah. The most of the time goes on business. V'alem oimer, Tana says there is such a group. Okay, some people are not made for learning; they're more involved in business. The Shomer Torah says they do kvius with him. V'alem oimer Tana in dereisha yofet Torah im derech eretz. Im it's meloshen tofel bottle. Main thing by them is derech eretz. Says for them is yofet even derech eretz. When you do business, you're a businessman, but still yofet Torah. Put some Torah in it, but mainly it's business. But he says, but the Sefer of the Mishnah, Torah, yeah, says, V'lochem yofi, shim diya yodeh mashakot, yeah. The Kasa Acheres, hem lomid the Torah, the main ikar, the ingen, their avoida is learning Torah. He says, V'yoshem beveisam, they're sitting at home, in that case, a home, or in Besmedrash, Shat Torah etzlam hu ikar. By them, the main thing is learning. He says that to them, the Sefer of the Mishnah says, you have to have malacha, you have to have an income, you have to have something, business, work, omnus, because if you're not going to have an income, even what you have is going to be nullified. So according to the Bach, this tour is not talking over here for working class even. According to the Beis Yosef and others, you can understand. Torah recommends you to learn Torah if you're working class. No, this is what the Torah says. He talks to Bnei Torah according to because the first group is Yofet Torah and Derech Eretz. The main thing is Derech Eretz. Involve some Torah over there. Mix some Torah in your business. Over here says no. If you're learning the whole day, have some malach, have some income, because without it in the Torah you have going to be nullified. So that's what it brought over here in Shulchan Aruch Harachaim, in Yoredeya, in Shulchan Aruch Yoredeya. That's what the tour brings over. In the Siman Reish Mem Vav. It's mamash quoting the Rambam word for word. And somebody thinks I'm going to learn the whole day Torah and I'm going to have income from Parnos. My Parnos is going to be from Tzedakah. And it goes on and on and on. Rambam was very big at it. He himself practiced this. He had self-sufficient. He was self-supported. So he was very big at that. Don't take support from anybody. This way, you have your income. You the mentor. You the baalamei. You the baaladeya. It's arichos advarim. But Derech Klal, the Beis Yosef, but Derech Klal is a big chassid of the Rambam, and he when there's an argument, he goes to the side of the Rambam and he defends them. As we know, you have a sogas arriva, the Beis is going to go and answer it. In this case, there is the tshuvas of the Tashbetz, disagree. The Rambam goes barichus with all his proofs why that's the right way, that you have to have your own income. Don't rely on support from the outside. And if he upschlags, he rejects all the rayas of the Rambam, and he not masking with him. In this case, the Beis Yosef follows the Tashbetz, not the Rambam. He says yes, some people could do like the Rambam, but most people, it says, cannot do like the Rambam, because if we all would be working and learning, we're not going to have such a G'doyle Yisrael, like the Beis Yosef himself. He wrote so many books. Where did he have the time to write all this, to learn, to write, to teach? He had to be immersed in learning, and he was supported, helped with others. So this says that's the Medina is that the people who were supporting the Bnei Torah. So that's what, like I said, in this case, the Beis Yosef sides not with the Rambam, but with the Tashbetz. However, he ends himself over here, Mikol Mokem. Somebody could be, he's able to do his own parnasa, and also learn serious hours of learning. According to Beis Yosef, this is the ideal way, midas chasidus, umatas elokim. That's a gift from God. You can't say like the Rambam. Rambam was big on it. Everybody should do this. No, it's not shaykh to everybody. Now, this inyan what the Beis Yosef brings over here, lahaloch and shulchan aruch, and the same over here, Reish Nun Vav, the Ramo brings this too. So lahalochem, they're looking down at people that they have parnasa adra, but this is matas elokim. This is midas chasidus. It's nothing wrong with it. Adra, but that's the recommended. It's not that everybody could do it. So you compromise. You're going with shita of the tashbetz. You could learn and get help from others. But this is that's midas chasidus. Now I'm going to just say briefly what the El Rabba and the Levush he brings over here now to talking to the business people. If you, like I said, business people or working people think, I work, I'm busy with parnosa, I do kvius itim here and there, half hour, an hour, whatever, kvius itim. So he gives you a whole new perspective, what the demand from a business person, a working person. He brings them the Shla Kodesh. It's like this. The El Yerabba. And in Kuf Nun Vav in Arachaim. It says like this. The Shlo Kosam, the Afilu Balebatim, Yekaimu Yofet Toirem Derecheret. It's consistent with the Bach, the first beginning of the Mishnah. Yofet Toirem Derecheret talks about Balabatim. By them, the main thing is Derecheret. So it says, so put some Torah into your Derecheret and your Parnasa. And he says, V'nosnu Siman Gimel Oz. In Tanakh brought the three Oz. And Yeshua says, Oz Tazkil. Then you're going to be smart. Or then he says in the Pasuk, Oz Tatzliach. Then you're going to be Matzliach. And then there's a Pasuk in Iyov, Oz Yenuach Li. So it says the three Oz, that's Oz is a Gematria 8. Aleph Zayin, it's 8. It says, Ches Shoes Keminyan Oz Batoira, Oz Taskil Batoira, 8 hours you have to learn. And it says, Ches Shoes B'Masa Matan, 8 Oz B'Masa Tatzliach in your business. And it says, in the Pasuk in Iyov, Oz Yenuach Li, Ches Shoes B'Sheina. Says, so you have 24 hours. According to the Shla Kodesh, a businessman, a worker, you have to do 8 hours. Let me tell you, anybody learns 8 hours. I don't care if it's a balabos or a Kollel Yingaman. He could be a big Talmud Chochem with the 8 hours a day. It's a heavy learning, 8 hours a day. So the Shla Kodesh demands from a business person, from a working person, taskil, learn 8 hours a year, work 8 hours, you have another 16 hours after working 8 hours a day, go learn 8 hours. Okay, the only thing left over here to do, it's a big demand from a business person, a working person, where are you going to have time for eating, time for going to the bathroom, and time for other inyanim, taking care of the family? So okay, so if you're going to start getting something from here, from there, but you're still going to have good, heavy 5-6 hours of learning. That's what according to the Shla Kodesh, it demands from a working person to learn, not a half hour, an hour, 5, 6, 7 hours a day of heavy learning. Shkoyach.
So you compromise for 7